When the grid fails, this could be your lifeline. During my trip to Texas to document the floods, I met with the creators of Mosh to explore how their technology could help people in disaster zones.
My name's Sean Bryan. This is my wife, Erica Bryan. We're the co-founders of Mosh-1.
Mosh is the mobile off-grid sun harvester, and it brings contested energy to areas where there is no energy, whether it's because of disaster or grid failure.
It's a new way of rethinking how we do emergency management and provide power in the darkest hours that people live.
This is a patent pending product, very simple in its idea, but something nobody ever thought about before, and that is strapping solar energy and harnessing it into a battery system that is mobile. Wow. So Mosh is the mobile off-grid sun harvester, and so as you can see, it's on a special chassis that makes it mobile on the road, on freight. You can airlift it with a heavy enough helicopter. And so you arrive, you deploy quickly to a disaster scenario or an off-grid scenario or any infrastructure environment that doesn't support electricity. You remotely open your wings, and inside you have battery storage, and you're good to go. And this unit in particular is 60 kilowatts. So it's not only powering itself inside as a command center or as a clinic or a kitchen or a library or a classroom or a training facility, whatever you need, but it has the ability to disperse power outside of itself. We also have the ability to power vehicles on the outside. There's a Tesla charger on it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so it goes all throughout the day, taking in the sun, and then fills up the batteries. So this was also a cooling unit for the University of Maryland football team, and so they would come in here and they would write on the walls, and it also went to the Modern Day Marine Conference in Washington, D.C., where a lot of the military community got a chance to come in and learn about it. And we also learned a lot in that process about how we might be able to apply ourselves to our nation's defense system. Solar energy, stored solar energy, will only work if you can keep it in a climate-controlled environment. So this is why we keep it at a certain degree, 69 degrees, and we know that we can keep it at this level whether it's 120 degrees outside or whether it's -0 outside. And so that's critical for your battery operation and to be able to operate for 24 hours a day. But they need to be able to operate safely in what is really an unsanitary environment right now. It's hot, it's muddy, there's more rain coming in, so they need shelter. They need to be able to power their computers, be able to communicate with their own families, and be able to do their job. And so without a resource like this, it makes it really hard. I mean, what's different about us is we're sort of like the unicorn. Nothing like this has ever come along before, so nobody really knows what to think about it at first. And so we're trying to get the word out there for sure, more. But for the most part, people have relied on diesel run generators to get their resources operational. So that's like the one common theme. And that's in the disaster scenarios that we've seen. There's a lot of food, there's a lot of there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of love, but there's not any of this.
Yeah, I mean, the technical stuff.
Yeah, so there's not too much of that, and what is out there, is just the stuff that's been in play for decades. Nothing's really changed, and it's just time for it to change.
This unit's been alive for 19 months now, and this is what she does. The old adage when we were kids, turn the damn lights off, you're running up the electric bill. And you don't have to do that anymore. We leave them on all the time. We leave the AC on or the heat, whatever climate we're in. Everything's running. So if you pull out your phones and go on the Wi-Fi, you'll see a Starlink. So Starlink's in the roof. Everywhere she goes, she's got power and command. On the outside, we have the ability, so we have 220s on the ends and 110s on the outside, so we can power up additional equipment from the outside as well. So you can have this in here as a working environment, monitoring drones, whatever you need to do. We can customize and outfit the walls throughout it, where we can mount TVs into the walls, we can put stoves in it, fridge, whatever the imagination is. One of the units we're looking at is a triage center, where it becomes a medical center that is completely off grid. Grid fails, guess what? You can do triage. This particular unit is 19 months old and has never flickered. I mean, you guys saw it, you walked in it right after I did. She just showed up on scene and she's at 100% already. without even flexing her wings, which is something that we figured out, which is why we cut some of the weight off the back, because this thing is so powerful, it absorbs constantly. She's surrounded with 22,800 watts of solar panels, solar absorption. Even this one being a one phase, the ability that it has is just unbelievable. My least favorite use that we can use is a mobile morgue. We have the ability to bring the temperature down into it, where sadly we could turn it into a rolling freezer. You know, some of the use cases that we're already dealing with is a mobile kitchen, where, you know, not a roach coach, but, you know, in an emergency situation where you need to cook food for a mass amount of people, that mass amount of cooking takes a mass amount of fuel and generate. Well, we eliminate that. We can line this thing up with fridges and stoves. I mean, you saw the fridge inside it. Ice, coolers, all the headaches that go with it. We can turn this into a mobile kitchen. We can turn it into temporary housing, but not just temporary housing. We can take this right now with the FEMA housing, whatever they call those little temporary houses. They're all running off a generator. We can take a MOSH unit, set it there, power up 3 or 4 of those at the same time, have this become temporary housing that's powering up additional temporary housing. So now you're eliminating a mass amount of generators.
You can follow Mosh on Instagram to keep up with their journey and see how they're helping communities during disasters. It's amazing what they're doing.